Today is Saturday, February 24th, 2018. Hello, and welcome to Weekly Astrology Notes for the week of February 25th through March the 4th, 2018. Weekly summary. Well, we've got a super healing week. It's just amazing. A very busy week as well. 9 aspects, and they all involve Pisces because we've got so many planets in Pisces right now. So starting off Sunday the 25th, we've got 3 aspects in the morning. Venus square Mars, Mercury conjunct Neptune, and Sun sextile Saturn. It's a very Pisces morning, and I think the main effect is likely folks are dreamy and reflective for the most part, mainly from this Mercury conjunct Neptune. On Monday, we've got the moon in Cancer. We're going to be more sensitive, in need of warmth and protection. And then on Monday evening, deep feelings and emotions from the Venus sextile Pluto. The first of 2 Pluto sextiles early this week, which motivate our innate healing abilities. And then Monday afternoon, we've got a void of course until the evening, which will be a great time for a relationship, once again from this Venus sextile Pluto. Then on Wednesday, it's going to be a high energy day with the moon in Leo. Mercury square Mars in the afternoon. Communication takes on a demanding, impatient tone. We're a bit compulsive, maybe a bit accident prone. You may want to drive with caution on Wednesday, or you may need to blow off some steam. But in the evening, Mercury sextile Pluto leaves us quiet and reserved, quite the opposite of during the day. We're very capable and willing to make a commitment. It's good for getting a lot of work done, able to sense an opportunity and break through mental barriers, dig deep on any issue. Also makes us very psychic. And then we've got a void, of course, from Wednesday afternoon until late in the evening. And Venus trine Jupiter from early Thursday morning that's going to have us feeling lazy and indulgent on Wednesday evening. And all of these Plutos, we're going to have 2 Pluto sextiles and 2 Jupiter trines this week. And all of this to Pisces. And all of this wonderful energy gives us a communal consciousness, desire to be part of something good, a group that does something to improve society, as well as activating and motivating your own innate healing abilities. So there's this abundance of healing and compassionate energy available to us this week, much like last week. Forgiveness and unconditional love enables us to reclaim lost elements of self, resolve the past, including our past lives. That also comes from the Saturn sextiles to Pisces we've been getting lately. And encourage us to seek our direct divine connection, which is what Pisces is all about, that direct divine connection. So meditation and reflection are essential to nurture that connection to spirit this week. As well, artistic endeavors help us immensely to find and cultivate sanctuary, a place where we can be uninhibited with our thoughts. Very important with Mercury in Pisces. That unconditional nature of Pisces needs to be expressed in our thoughts, and we need to be free and uninhibited and allow ourselves to dream and to fantasize, tune out distractions, and all of that allows us to transcend the material plane, okay, and think of more than just the material world we live in. And then on Thursday morning, we've got Venus trine Jupiter. Makes us lazy and indulgent. It's a very social and pleasant aspect. People will be in a really good mood on Thursday. Good time for a party. And then on Thursday, late afternoon, we've got the full moon in Virgo, which should produce, the usual emotional ups and downs and crisis for fulfillment. But nonetheless, we got 2 Jupiter trines, like bookends, on either side of the full moon. So no one wants to sit still on this full moon. It's going to be a real big party atmosphere. And then on Friday morning, we've got the Mercury trine Jupiter, which expands our horizons, enables us to see farther, giving us some optimism. It's a good aspect for business. In fact, I should mention all of these aspects, these Pluto sextiles and the Jupiter trines we're having this week, are very good for business and money related matters. So it's a very good business week as well. On Friday evening, we lose our direction, with the moon is going to be void, of course, until just past midnight. And then on Sunday morning, March the 4th, we've got Sun conjunct Neptune. Isn't that nice? We've got Mercury conjunct Neptune to start the week and Sun conjunct Neptune to finish the week. So once again, we're dreamy and lazy in the morning on Sunday. And as well, we've got Mercury conjunct Venus on Sunday morning. Gives us a pleasant disposition and good communication skills. Both aspects occur early Sunday, so they're in effect on Saturday evening. So the weekend is looking really good, a time to relax and heal. In fact, the entire week is really the best week for healing and regeneration we've had in a long time. The amount of healing energy coming to us now will help us enormously. Any type of healing work or healing modality that you utilize will work better this week. Our innate healing abilities are activated, and we are motivated to heal. So it's a very big healing week. Make the best of it. And at the end of the video, I go into the transits for the USA and Russia. Okay, so let's start with Sunday, the 25th. As I mentioned, we're having three aspects in the morning. The Venus square Mars kind of makes us a bit pushy and disagreeable. But the Mercury conjunct Neptune, I think, is going to be the more dominant one. It makes folks dreamy and reflective. As well, the Sun sextile Saturn gives us good morals and good judgment. So I went over those last week. I don't want to go into it too much this week because there's so much more to cover. You can check out last week's report for the details on that. And we'll just move along into Monday, the 26th. Start the week with the moon in Cancer. We're going to be sensitive and in need of warmth and protection. And the Venus sextile Pluto in the evening is going to be making us very reflective and give us a lot of deep emotions. So we'll start in the morning with the moon trine Venus, a pleasant disposition. Actually, that's going to be more the middle of the night. But moving into the morning, moon opposition Pluto. A little disruptive energy to get us started on Monday morning. Gives us a strong burst of energy. Also makes us a bit defiant. But then mid-morning, we've got the moon trine Jupiter. Pleasant disposition. Feeling generous. And then early Monday afternoon, we've got the moon square Uranus. Disruptions. Looking for a change. Best you instigate that change. We're more intelligent with the moon square Uranus, interested in unusual, but as I said, it does bring up disruptions. And then we've got a void, of course, starting from the early afternoon until the evening when the moon enters Leo. So we're more playful and romantic for the next couple of days. Good time to attend to your hobbies and pursue recreational activities. Lots of creative energy with the moon in Leo. Folks like to be on stage and get noticed by others. It's also a good time to spend with your children. And Monday evening is a great night for relationships. And that's because the Venus sextile Pluto from early Tuesday morning really gets the sexual energy flowing. Brings up deep feelings and emotions. Strong feeling of commitment. As well, it motivates our innate healing abilities. Excellent time for romance. Moving along to Tuesday, the 27th. Moon in Leo brings a little drama to the day, and Venus sextile Pluto gets our healing energy flowing and makes us want to be part of a communal effort. So it's the first of two sextiles this week. Venus sextile Pluto, so it'll be 20 degrees of Pisces to 20 degrees of Capricorn. Brings up deep feelings and emotions, which can be transformative. sometimes even a little disruptive, but usually for the better. It motivates our innate healing abilities, excellent for healing work, and something we should all focus on this week with 2 of these going on. Very communal aspect, feel a deep sense of commitment towards others, strong need to be useful and productive, member of society, to be wanted and needed by others. We kind of need to be stroked, as well as we enjoy stroking others. We have a deep need to merge with the collective, be a part of a group, maybe even a group that's doing something to reform society. Gives us the ability to dig deep and get to the heart of the matter. Gives us good focus and concentration, lots of mental stamina, ability to penetrate the facade of others and know how others really feel deep down, though you may prefer to keep your perceptions to yourself, as revealing them could cause disruptions and take away your superior advantage of perception, which is another thing to consider. We are looking for personal success with this aspect as well, and it's good for money-related matters and things like that. As well, relationships take on the same deep quality. Strong desire to merge with your partner means it's very sensual and very sexual. It's great for coupling. Union with another takes on greater meaning. You feel transformed. Relationships that start now have a fateful quality, as the 2 of you have chosen to go through a death rebirth process together. It makes it a relationship to remember, one that could last a long time, because we got Capricorn in there as well. So that's all that's happening on Tuesday, which is actually quite a bit. Moving along to Wednesday, the 28th. Moon in Leo gives us a high energy Wednesday. Need to do something physical. We've got Mercury square Mars, gives us lots of energy. Recommend some physical exercise to blow off some steam. But in the evening, we've got this wonderful Mercury sextile Pluto. So it'll be much like yesterday evening. Continues to stimulate our healing abilities, and it gives us very good mental focus. So we start in the morning on Wednesday with the Moon trine Mars. Energetic start of the day, lots of fire, good for physical exercise and creative endeavors. And then in the mid-morning on Wednesday, Moon square Jupiter, extravagant and loud, desire to display and show off. Not the best business sense though. And then in the afternoon, more high energy with the Moon trine Uranus, feeling independent. Fire signs need to expend some energy, good for physical exercise. And then we've got a void of course, which is going to last all the way until 10 o'clock this evening. And in between then, we're going to have these 2 Mercury aspects. Starting in the late afternoon, Mercury square Mars, Pisces to Sagittarius. And that'll be 20 degrees of Pisces to 20 degrees of Sag. Okay, so communication takes on a demanding, impatient tone. Compulsive, maybe a little bit accident prone. So drive with caution on this one, because Mercury rules driving. So desires interfere with normal communication. Some folks demand you see things their way and try to limit your field of view, so you see no other way but theirs. Aggressive as well as defensive. Lots of interactions in quick bursts. Can be nerve-wracking. You may be forced to stay on top of things today, forced to defend your opinions. Tendency to be blunt or coarse with others. You may want to hold back, telling others what you really think about them, or saying or writing something hurtful. Just let it pass. Not a good time for business or business-related matters, for any important communication that depends on careful interaction. High energy, mentally very active and self-motivated. May need to do something to blow off some steam. The personal challenge is to take a leap of faith, because it's that square from Sagittarius to Pisces. You don't see everything. so we have to believe. But it should be easier to do, given the next aspect we're getting, the Mercury sextile Pluto, will give us a better sense. Which brings up some challenges. Another topic, by the way, I've just noticed, is that Mars in the sign of Sagittarius, usually a really great position for Mars, it's getting some challenges due to its position relative to the other planets right now. You'll notice it's getting all of these squares to Pisces, and that's causing the ego, which is Mars, to dissolve, while at the same time trying to expand. So the ego is a little bit confused these days. You need to make some ego adjustments, and that's the mutable signs, Sag and Pisces, enable us to adjust. So we need to, be a little bit more mature with our ego. Stop ourselves when we're getting too big. Share our inspiration with others instead of just trying to shine on our own. And that's just some food for thought during this Mercury square Mars we're having. And it should be a little easier to contain that because in the evening we've got the Mercury sextile Pluto, 20 degrees of Pisces to 20 degrees of Capricorn. Excellent aspect for seeing a job through to the end. Lots of stamina, ability to defend yourself and your opinions. Although it does make us quiet and reserved, capable, willing to make a commitment, good for getting a lot of work done, able to sense an opportunity. Very good for that. Good business sense, very good business sense with this aspect. Ability to break through mental barriers, dig deep on any issue. We premeditate, think ahead on a plan of action, able to get assistance from powerful people, very wise, more aware of the power of your words. You use your words to your own advantage to get ahead. Very mature, transcendental, and even poetic. So it's a rather success-oriented aspect. And it's somewhat the opposite of the previous, because this one really gets us quiet and gets us thinking, whereas the other one brings out a lot of irrational bursts of energy. So this one, like I said, it's very good for business and making important decisions. The two aspects together emphasize that if you hold back and restrain the ego, don't be blunt, then you'll be able to sense an opportunity and reach for it. Just like the Venus sextile Pluto from yesterday, we're also really motivated to heal the community and ourselves and able to come to terms with past life issues. Really beneficial, very high energy day. And then in the evening on Wednesday, Moon enters Virgo. So Virgo rules work and likes to keep busy and useful. So we'll be active over the next couple of days. A bit more critical, with better judgment though, taking better care of your hygiene and attending to your health regime. And as always, Virgo loves to be helpful. We've got a busy moon in Virgo for this passage. Lots of aspects. We've got all these oppositions to Pisces, trines to Capricorn, sextile to Jupiter, square to Mars. So it's a very busy moon in Virgo. And lastly, the Venus trine Jupiter happening early Thursday morning. It's going to be in effect on Wednesday evening, making that one of the best nights for social gatherings. So just a really great high energy Wednesday. Good time for a party, and even better on Thursday, March the 1st. We got the Venus trine Jupiter happening in the morning. It's the first of two Jupiter trines to Pisces, characterized as healing a psychological wound or reclaiming a lost part of yourself, or even saved by divine grace. And with the forgiveness energy of Jupiter, we can be assured of a strong healing energy coming to us now, helping to heal our deepest psychological fears. It's really one of the best aspects in the book. I should call it out here, be 23 degrees of Pisces to 23 degrees of Scorpio. And it's that wonderful Scorpio to Pisces trine. One of the best aspects in the book, I should say, regardless of sign, everyone is more pleasant and charitable towards one another today. Kind of makes us lazy and indulgent, not interested in work obligations. Great aspect for any social gatherings. Folks are more extravagant, dressed up, desire to spend money. Not the best judgment in financial matters. Of course, a great aspect for relationships. Existing relationships go well today, and new ones that start today are fun and inspiring. So that's just the first of two. So it's a real good party atmosphere surrounding the full moon on Wednesday and Thursday evening. So we'll start with Thursday mid-morning, the moon trines Saturn. This aspect should help us attend to some duty and responsibility for a while. And then in the late afternoon, we've got the full moon, moon opposition sun. It'll be moon in Virgo. So lots of emotional ups and downs, which can get the best of us at this full moon. Because, the Pisces energy can seem to come out of nowhere. But it also opens us up to receiving anybody that comes to us. Virgo has events continuously moving along, like the digestive process. It goes along without you thinking about it, with or without your awareness, keeping us emotionally active and attentive, forcing us to be adaptable and accepting events as they happen. You don't want to get stuck in that Pisces disappointment. So we're open to spiritual influences, really open to anybody that comes our way. So you need to be watchful and maintain your spiritual hygiene. It's easy to absorb the energy of others and get caught up in events, kind of lose yourself. Also, we're easily deceived because it's Pisces, and we're searching for something we can't see. And especially so because we're also having this moon opposition Neptune right around the full moon. So just beware of your surroundings. You kind of use a little caution this evening. Be careful if you go out. Just make sure you're around friends, because this full moon brings out a lot of astral energies. And then the moon opposition Neptune a little later in the evening gives us a desire to escape. However, we're going to be feeling really optimistic and desire a conversation this evening with the upcoming Mercury trine Jupiter. So really, it's actually a great evening for a party or to be with friends. Although I should say, people will be talking a lot of chat. Easy to overestimate yourself and talk yourself up a bit. But it's all in good fun. So, moving along to Friday, March the 2nd. Feeling optimistic this morning with the moon trine Jupiter. So that'll be early in the morning, and this will be 23 degrees of Pisces to 23 degrees of Scorpio. So optimistic, thinking big, make big promises, some that you can't keep, because it's Pisces. Long-range planning. Well, I shouldn't say that necessarily about Pisces. It's just that Jupiter, expands, and Pisces has no boundaries. So sometimes we'll make big promises that we're not thinking realistically. We're a little bit delusional. That's kind of what I meant to say there. But this aspect is good for long-range planning, ability to see the big picture, connect the dots, inspirational, open-minded, able to overcome your usual inhibitions. We talk louder with more courage and intelligence. We feel connected to cosmic forces, more religious, philosophical, and wise. And actually, as I mentioned earlier, divine grace is possible with this aspect. Great aspect for starting a journey or to plan or to travel. Plan a journey or to travel. Good day to write down your goals, because Mercury is writing. In fact, any writing is favored by this aspect. It's sure to be really positive and expansive, all those Jupiter qualities. And it's water sign, so it's time to share your feelings with someone whom you can trust. Good aspect to connect with a sibling, because Mercury rules siblings. So you could heal some wound with a sibling with this aspect. Reading spiritual, philosophical, or religious books would be favored, as well as delving into fantasy or even occult, occult subjects seem more interesting today. And playing music strongly favored because you really feel every note you're playing and it carries the mind to a higher plane, which is exactly the idea with this aspect. We need to move the conscious mind, out of the material plane and into the higher conscious plane. We need to move the conscious mind to a higher plane of existence where we can see farther and imagine more. So that Pisces energy really needs to be satisfied there and get us out of the material plane of existence to imagine so much more. Great aspect to expand the mind. Wonderful for Friday. And then the moon aspects on Friday. Well, we start in the morning with the moon trine Pluto. So we're looking to get ahead, make a change for the better. And then also in the morning, the moon square Mars makes us a little quarrelsome and demanding. Also poor digestion. Go easy on the coffee this morning. And then just afternoon on Friday, moon sextile Jupiter. So good moon in the early afternoon. Emotions expand, feeling charitable. A good time for business and good for digestion. Overall, I would say, with the Mercury trine Jupiter as well, it's a very good day for business on Friday. And moving into Friday afternoon, we've got the moon opposition Mercury. Heightened awareness, but we're easily preoccupied. May need to be of assistance to someone in these signs, although it's good for retail interactions because we're open to whomever comes our way. And then a little later in the afternoon, moon opposition Venus, not feeling in a sociable mood, and a void of course begins. And that'll last until just past midnight. So we're feeling like we're without direction until on Friday evening. Probably not the most sociable time, more of a time to relax and center yourself, find your sanctuary. And moving into Saturday, on the March 3rd, moon enters Libra early in the morning, just past midnight. We are more diplomatic for the next couple of days. Emotional needs are fulfilled through quality interactions with others. More sensitive to what others think, more sophisticated, and have more refined tastes. Good time for relationships as well. Except for maybe this one particular moon aspect, moon square Saturn. Have rigid emotions, hard to appreciate others and not feeling sociable. This one's not a good time for business meetings. And this will be Saturday in the early afternoon. And moving along to Sunday, we have a dreamy, lazy day with Sun conjunct Neptune and Mercury conjunct Venus. And I should mention this Sun conjunct Neptune will be in effect on Saturday evening. So that'll make it kind of a lazy Saturday night. Everyone kind of becomes a Pisces today, especially, not only because it's Sun conjunct Neptune, but it's in the sign of Pisces. So today we reach a high point in the Pisces energy we are feeling this month. It's a low energy aspect, makes you feel lazy, not feel like doing much, not attending to duty, desire to escape. The energy just kind of flows like a river. It comes and it goes. And sometimes you just feel like sitting there and watching it pass by. We're more sensitive, intuitive, and artistic, impressionable, open to subtle influences around us, spiritual, not materialistic, desire a collective experience, so we let down our guard, reach out to others. Also, better appreciation of nature and beautiful things, as well as better connection to animals. And we tend to see the best side in others and overlook the bad side. Despite the need to withdraw, we want to be amongst others so we can find our place in the grand scheme of things. We feel like we're dissolving, and it really helps to find a support group. Time for meditation as well, and maybe to be of service to others. Pisces really needs to do that. show compassion and acceptance, willing to lay down your ego. And of course, there's the artistic endeavors, like I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. Very good today, especially with this aspect to accompany Mercury conjunct Venus. Well, I should have mentioned that last one was at 13 degrees of Pisces, which has been such a active degree lately. I mean, we've had Mars square Neptune, Mercury, Venus, and now the Sun, all at that 13 degrees of Pisces. So now we're getting the Mercury conjunct Venus, and this will be at 27 degrees of Pisces. Be very close to Chiron as well. So we might want to think about that. So for this one, always a wonderful aspect. Communication takes on a Venus quality, more diplomatic, aware of the listener, romantic, persuasive, beautiful, gentle tones, especially in Pisces, which is so sensitive. So no harsh tones today. It's the perfect energy to resolve your differences with someone if you need to do that. Yes, resolving your differences is a good one for this. It's in Pisces. It asks us to look beyond the material world, think on different levels. It's great for artistic endeavors. It goes very well with the gentle and sophisticated moon in Libra. And then in the early afternoon on Sunday, we do have a moon square Pluto. So this unsettling quality of this aspect is a little bit less than usual. I think really we're just feeling a burst of energy because of all these pleasant other planetary influences. And then later in the afternoon, Moon sextile Mars, feeling energetic on Sunday afternoon. Good time for a breath of fresh air. And then finally, late on Sunday evening, we've got the Moon opposition Uranus, emotions unstable, and surprises causes disruptions. Well, that's all for this week's aspects. Okay, so moving on to a little bit of politics, which I didn't do last week. Give myself a little bit of break from that. So the USA, the recent school shooting in Florida, concurrent with Pluto square Chiron. Don't have it shown here, but it's at 20 degrees, 8 minutes of Aries. And Pluto is currently at 20 degrees of Capricorn. So we have this Pluto square Chiron. I anticipated some sort of false flag event would occur at that transit, and it certainly did. So I kind of feel a little bit validated on that. And coming up this week, on Thursday, March the 1st, Mars opposition Mars, 20 degrees of Sag to 20 degrees of Gemini. It's a point of culmination in the Mars cycle, a time when many affairs reach a conclusion. Something is brought out into the open and settled. High energy, very assertive, and I expect conflict or some sort of serious political confrontation this week. It's a transit to watch, especially since we're coming up so close now to this Pluto quincunx Mars, which I'm patiently waiting for. The first pass is going to be the 18th this month, and that brings huge potential for a severe adjustment, a severe precise adjustment. That's what the quincunx does. It's like Virgo. It makes a precise adjustment. And in this case, it's in politics, ruled by Gemini. It could be a political event as big as 9/11, or big economic news, or a war, or some conflict, or all of the above. Lots of potential with this one. So we're looking to see what happens on this Mars opposition Mars. You know, the developing story in the Middle East is that the U.S. has now created a new terrorist army in southern Syria, tempting Turkey to attack them. And that's basically just what happened. I guess that's what they were hoping for. So now we have open war between the national armies of Syria and Turkey developing. And all this is due to this terrorist army encampment in Afrin, Syria, that the USA has created. So Russia's really not pleased about this. And with these transits that the USA is getting, the whole situation could really blow up. So we're moving into a very delicate time for the USA. And I've laid a lot of this out recently. It's a challenging time, a lot of political confrontations, potential for more false flag events, big economic news, or some major military action. It could be related to Trump's promise to drain the swamp. And I'm going to be talking more about this next week because he's got some really a big transit coming up on April the 2nd. So I'll include that in next week's report. But just generally speaking, we're going to start to see things light up for the USA this week. And since Russia seems to be someone I don't talk about much, but really is a major player in all this, I really wanted to take a look at their chart. So not only are they heavily involved in Syria, but the story with them this week is that they're now threatening to disconnect from the SWIFT banking system. Now, if they do that, it would be a disaster for the U.S. petrodollar. Now, this past week, so I got a chart here. This is Russia. I'm using their Russian Federation 1991 chart. And their transits on the 21st of February, Jupiter conjunct Venus. Now, this is in Scorpio, so certainly it has something to do with banking and economic news. So they had that, along with the recent Jupiter conjunct Pluto, which is even more about banking. And what this is doing now is because they're getting this sextiles from Pluto. So it's, and this is the correct time, by the way. So this is the correct houses that we're looking at for them. So it's Pluto, sextiling Pluto and Venus in the 4th house, along with this Jupiter conjunction. This is really amazing stuff for them. I would call this passionate reconstruction of their home and foundation. You know, I had a similar setup going on with me. I have Venus in the 4th house in Scorpio. I got a Pluto sextile a few years ago, and during that transit, I rebuilt, or actually I built my entire house. So that just gives you the kind of idea of the reconstruction that one does in the home. So they're looking for serious regeneration, and this means taking the reins of power and charting their own course, and especially economically. So what I'm getting to here is breaking away from the SWIFT system is a very real possibility for them. This is a very big time for them economically, and sure, they will vigorously seek independence and rebel. Pluto's rebellion, but it's going to be in a constructive way because it's a sextile. And rebelling against whoever is controlling them and reconstitute, reconstruct, whatever it is, do something really fundamental to take control of their monetary system. And then, interestingly, next, now I'm moving along, same Russia chart for April the 14th, which is going to be the next pass of the Jupiter sextile Pluto aspect. Now remember, the first pass of the Jupiter-Pluto sextile Pluto was right on a major transits for China, and they did something really amazing for themselves economically. And now we have the second pass of Jupiter sextile Pluto landing right on the Pluto of Russia. So what do you guess is going to happen? Something really good for them economically. They're going to be looking to get more independence. You know, they're part of the overall group that is looking to take away control of the world's financial system for the U.S. And for sure, this moment presents a prime opportunity for that. So I'm adding Russia to the overall economic picture that I've been painting in these reports. You know, usually I just focus about China and the U.S., but Russia is clearly about to do something really significant. A major economic adjustment is about to occur in the world, and they undoubtedly will be a major player, and they're going to do something to their advantage. That's a big thing with Pluto. You know, people love to take advantage of the opportunity. So for sure, that's going to be happening with them. So more about this next week when I talk about Trump's transits. Okay, but don't let all this political stuff distract you from the wonderful healing energy week we are having. Okay, in summary, as I mentioned last couple of weeks, I'm running a contest this month. The winner is going to be announced on next week's report. So donate this week for a chance to win. Everyone who donates $5 through Patreon or PayPal will be entered into a drawing for a free natal reading. You know, I got 3 more last week for a total of 6 people so far in the contest. So your chances of winning are still much better than winning the lottery. So please donate. You could win a free natal reading. You'll find donation buttons for Patreon and PayPal in the lower right-hand corner of the flower image on my channel homepage. And if you're looking for an astrologer for readings or monthly consultations, I'm running a special this month. Only $85 for a natal reading instead of the regular $120. I'm also available for consultations on a regular monthly basis, using astrology as a tool for life coaching, which is some of the most useful work that I do, because the immediacy of the transit information can be put to use right away in your life. It's a practical way to apply astrology, and it's the same basic idea behind this channel. In fact, I encourage people to check out your own transits. You know, and you can always ask me a question, leave it in the comments section or whatever, and I'd be happy to go over things with people just for fun, you know, because I like to get the conversation started. And in addition, I should mention, I'm also into long-distance Reiki healing. I've mentioned this last few times. I haven't had anybody inquire just yet, but I am a Reiki master, and I do long-distance Reiki healing. So if you're interested in what Reiki can do for you, want to explore the healing energy, would like to get a long-distance healing, please contact me for either astrology or Reiki at mobilestar7@yahoo.com or my weblog at tomsocalm.com, which is where I post the transcript of these weekly videos. Well, that's all this week for Weekly Astrology Notes. Once again, thanks for viewing, liking, and sharing my video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Many blessings, and have a great day.